Well, new this morning, a Waco woman who almost lost her life in a car crash as a teen says that THC changed her life, and now she's speaking against Senate Bill 3.
Yeah, the Texas bill would make it illegal to buy and consume THC cannabis products. Right now, it is sitting on Governor Greg Abbott's desk. His signature of the bill is the last step to make this ban official. Texas Today reporter Brandon Colt is live in Waco to explain a little bit more about this. Good morning to you, Brandon.
Good morning, Jasmine and Micah. I spoke with Elizabeth Megs about Senate Bill 3. At the age of 14, she went through a severe car crash where she died and had to be resuscitated back to life. Now, fast forward decades later to now, she is still dealing with those lingering physical injuries until she turned to THC. She says hundreds of Texans like herself would be impacted severely if Senate Bill 3 was passed because these people rely on THC products just to make it through the day.
We can't survive without this.
At the age of 14, Megs almost lost her life in a car crash.
I should not be here today.
Megs was placed in a medically induced coma and had to relearn everything after waking up.
For 19 years, I was a 65-year-old in a teenager's body.
Battling lingering health problems.
I had severe muscle spasms that would take me to the ER.
That's until she found full-spectrum CBD oil, a product containing THC helping her lead a normal life.
I'm proof of this miracle plant and what it can do.
Megs is advocating for others like herself to take a stand against banning THC.
If this bill goes through, we're gonna have to go back to suffering or move out of the state or become criminals.
Some Texas lawmakers who are for Senate Bill 3 argue THC is endangering children and damaging Texans' mental and physical health.
This is serious business. This is not Dan's folly. This is not Dan's priority. This is to save an entire generation of being hooked on drugs.
What's your reaction to his remarks?
Well, being hooked on drugs, if he would actually do his research, CBD oil helps to regulate those hormones. So you aren't dealing with the depression, you aren't dealing with the anxiety.
Where do you think you would be right now if it wasn't for the CBD in your life?
Honestly, I would be stuck in chaos and confusion.
Megs is pleading for Governor Greg Abbott to think about people like herself when making the final decision on Senate Bill 3.
I'm asking you to veto Senate Bill 3 for everyone out there who's going to be suffering if it's passed.
Governor Greg Abbott has until June 23rd to either approve or reject Senate Bill 3. Live in Waco, Brandon Cote, KCN 6 News.
Okay, Brandon, thank you so much.
Yeah, we know the governor has until the 22nd, I believe, to sign it or not sign it into law.
That's right. The THC ban was a top priority for Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick ahead of the legislative session. So he will be at the Waco Regional Airport this afternoon to answer questions about the legislative session. Now, that news conference is going to start at 4:25 p.m.